Welcome to the A.T.TIPSCAST, exploring and investigating different implementation of assistive technology in public schools. I'm your host, Chris Bouguet. This is episode number 28, recorded on February 2nd, 2009. When my son was about 18 months old, my wife noticed an interesting trend. The daily routine was for the boy to wake up, eat breakfast, pull out a bunch of toys, play, and then go down for a nap. On good days, we get all those toys cleaned up before or during nap, and on other days, we'd just leave them scattered all over the floor. The trend my wife noticed had to do with how the boy reacted based on what he saw when he woke up from nap. On the days when he emerged from the bedroom to a sea of toys, she found that he wasn't really interested in playing with the toys. Although they were all over the place and he had to navigate around them, he just didn't show any interest in wanting to interact with them. On days when the toys were cleaned up, he instantly moved over to the toy box, dug through the pile of toys, found something that was interesting, and began to play. So, what's the deal with that? Toys everywhere equals no interest. Toys in their rightful place equals high interest. Why would this be? One reason might be that having to look for the toys taps into a child's sense of discovery. Just the simple act of finding something is fun in its own right, and when the toys are already out, there isn't as much of a sense of discovery. Another reason is that the increased time it takes to find toys also increases the time a child has to process information. The time it takes to go to the toy box, open the box, dig through the toys, locate something of interest, and pull it out gives the child's brain time to ask the question, what do I want to play with today? And come up with a possible answer. Like most things in life, there probably isn't just one answer, and in fact, I'm willing to bet it's a combination of a few factors. But the principle that putting items away leads to those same items being used more frequently and efficiently is still valid and can be applied to students in school. All we need now is a strategy to help put things away, which is exactly what's described in A.T.TIP number 39, the I'm Finished box. Throughout the day, students pull out items and materials and place them on their desks. Pencils, markers, highlighters, scissors, typical school supply stuff gets pulled out of different places, and then they live on the student's desk for a period of time. Periodically, a teacher might say,
"Clear your desk of everything except for your book and a pencil."
For some students, this equates to taking everything that was previously on the desk and shoving it into the desk. Maybe they were having a hard time getting the previous assignment done, so they were rushing to finish, and when they heard the call from the teacher to put things away, they just felt they had to finish that one last word, but when they did finish that one last word, they realized it was spelled wrong, so they erased it, only to find that by the time they erased it, everyone else had their stuff put away, so they just crammed everything into their desk. Or maybe that student had trouble processing the auditory instructions of the teacher to put things away. For whatever reason, the student may just stuff items into the desk, and over time, the desk just gets jam-packed. Have you ever cleaned out a student's desk like that? You're like Brody and Hooper when they gut the shark in Jaws. You find all sorts of wonders in that desk. You're pulling out bubblegum wrappers, pencil stubs, license plates. Who knows what you'll find in there? The lost Ark of the Covenant might be buried in that desk for all you know. For older students who aren't keeping supplies in their desk, their backpack might be that warehouse for all things wondrous. The I'm Finished box doesn't necessarily need to be a box. It can be a bag, a satchel, a basket, a tray, a bucket, or just a zippered compartment in a backpack, or really anything that is used to store items. The idea is simply to have a place for students to put things once they are finished with them. Each student could have their own I'm Finished box that resides nearby their desk. I like putting the box under the chair, but wherever it's convenient works best. Whenever the teacher says,
"Put your things away and take out your blah blah blah,"
the student knows exactly where to put everything. In the box. Stuff can just be dumped in the I'm Finished box and sorted later. At the end of each day, the I'm Finished box can be emptied and the materials can be put away in their proper place. The beauty of this strategy is that the student is not constantly digging through all the materials in their desk to find the one thing they need at the moment because all the materials they previously used during the day are now in the I'm Finished box. Like I said, this might be a compartment in a backpack or a totally separate bag, the I'm Finished bag, for a student that's moving from room to room throughout the day. The I'm Finished box can be a mess. It's okay for it to be a mess. It doesn't need to be organized because the mess that is being created is a smaller mess than the really big mess of jamming everything back into the desk. When the student needs an item, the student knows whatever they're looking for is in one of two places. It's either in their desk in the proper spot, or it's in the I'm finished box. Some might say, well, why not just teach the student to put things back in their proper place once they're done using them? You know, if you take out your social studies notebook from one place, why can't you just put it back in that same place? My response to this is that, well, they're supposed to be doing that now, and it isn't working, so let's try this new, smaller mess method of the I'm finished box instead. One final thought. It never hurts to get the student involved in the creation of their own strategy. Asking the student to pick out a box and then decorate that box is an enticing way to get the student to want to use it. At the end of the day, going through the box to put stuff away, back into the desk, is a great way to review the day, readying any homework assignments, and ensuring that the next day starts out with everything right where it should be. For any student who gets confounded with too much stuff on their desk, or for any student who has trouble getting all their stuff organized, an I'm finished box might do just the trick. I've just got a few quick announcements here before I end the show. First, the A.T.TIPSCAST had its 1-year anniversary back on January 18th. January 18th of 2008 was when I posted the very first episode of the A.T.TIPSCAST. Oh yeah, the A.T.TIPSCAST just turned 1 year old. They grow up so fast. She's just learned to take her first few baby steps, and I just wanted to thank all of you who have listened, participated, and provided ongoing encouragement. You're that person holding their arms out going, "Come on, walk to me, come on, you can do it, there you go." Really, sincerely, thank you for listening, and thanks for spreading the word about the podcast to other educators. The second big announcement is that I've got a new Valentine this year, and her name is Twitter. Yep, I'm finally on Twitter. I resisted for a long time, worried that once I embraced Twitter, it would chew up my free time like a dog eating homework. But after some encouragement from some new friends on Facebook, I gave in to the peer pressure, and I'm on. And I'm in love. Happy Valentine's Day, Twitter. Please be gentle with my emotions. I'm fragile. The resources I'm finding just from the handful of people I'm following is quite amazing. If you're on Twitter, you can follow me and I'll follow you back. I go by A.T.TIPSCAST, but you can find me by my real name too. The third announcement is just to invite you to look me up on Facebook in Classroom 2.0. If you're interested, please join the A.T.TIPers group on either of those sites. The main benefit of joining the A.T.TIPers group is that it allows you to connect with other listeners to the show who are also interested in assistive technology. You can find links to those sites over at the compendium blog attipscast.wordpress.com. Also listed on the blog site are the 3 upcoming conferences where I'll be presenting. I hope to see you at one of those conferences, but if you can't make it, I'd still love to hear from you. Please send me an email at attipscast@gmail.com. Any feedback is welcome. Until next time, may all your interventions be inclusive, and may all your strategies be supportive. There, I'm finished now. I can put this episode right over here in this box.